Yo guys, it's your boy Hybrid Hit Squad and we're back again with another episode. Well, more just a commentary style video similar to the one I made about Man City, about how they could line up next season going into the 2021/2022 season. And we're here with another episode, another team. This time we'll talk about a team that I think has got a really interesting future and is in the beginning processes of a rebuild under a new manager, and that's Crystal Palace. So obviously they're under a rebuild with a number of players leaving this summer, with Sacco, Cahill, Van Aanholt all leaving. Scott Dan has left also. MacArthur has left. Also, yeah, so a lot of experience in that team. Players have been at Crystal Palace for a long time. They've left. And I should talk about how I think their starting 11 should look like under Patrick Vieira going into next season. So we can talk about Patrick Vieira a bit right now. I think it's a risky appointment for Crystal Palace. How many times have we seen these steady Premier League teams deviate from the game plan, go with a manager who's not English, not got Premier League experience, not got experience in keeping a team up, and then it completely fail. They try and go in a different direction from the direction that's kept them in the Premier League. And I know Crystal Palace fans aren't going to like to hear this, and I know some football fans in general aren't going to be happy to see this, but when you're a team like Crystal Palace, and your team is what it is, your stadium size is what it is, your wage bill is what it is, you staying in the league every season is a positive. You staying in the league and getting that 100 million in TV money is a positive. You saw it under Frank de Boer, where you tried to, again, deviate from the game plan, try and revolutionise the club. Those things take time and money. And when you're in the position Crystal Palace is, you don't have either of those things. You don't have time, because if it fails, or if it doesn't get off to a start if you don't start on fire, you're in a relegation battle very quickly. And you haven't got the money to buy 4, 5, 6 players in that can change the squad. 4, 5, 6 first team players that can rapidly improve the squad. It's not like Pep at Man City in his first season, where a bad season is finishing 4th. A bad season for Palace is finishing 18th and getting relegated. But nonetheless, they've gone with Patrick Vieira, a Premier League legend, make no doubt about it, is a Premier League legend, and that alone will attract young players, especially. It will attract players in general, but it will definitely attract young players that would have looked up to the likes of Vieira, Perez, that Arsenal team. Perez, Lumberg, Bergkamp, Henry, Adams, Seaman, players that have looked up to that team. Vieira was the captain. After Tony Adams, Vieira was the captain. So he's got a big reputation, a Premier League legend, 100%. His previous 2 jobs was 2.5 years at New York City FC, and then 2.5 years at Nice. You know, I'm not going to say I can't really speak on his time at New York City FC. I'm not 100% familiar with it. I can't say I don't even think I watched a game when he was managing them. And he had a win percentage of 44% there. And again, I couldn't really speak to if that was a successful spell or not. I don't know the expectations. I don't know how good the New York City FC squad was in comparison to other teams in the MLS. I don't know if they were supposed to be or expected to be challenging for a title, and they didn't, and they underperformed, or they were one of the worst teams in the league and he overperformed. I couldn't speak to that, unfortunately. At Nice, a lower win percentage of 39%. Was there for 2.5 seasons also. I can speak a bit more about this. He finished in respectable places in Ligue 1 in France. I'm not going to say that part at all was a unsuccessful spell. I actually think he done a pretty good job at Nice. He showed his style. I think his style is a bit more counter-attacking than I think he portrays himself to be. I think he's talked about wanting to play attacking football. He's never done that at any team he's been at. He's never really played attacking football in the way we've seen teams like, I wouldn't say Leeds, because Leeds are ultra attacking. They're the complete other end of the spectrum. But yeah, we haven't seen a Patrick Vieira team go on all out attack, all possession tiki-taka style of play that I think he wants to go for eventually in his career. And I think a lot of modern managers are striving to go for that. But he's played a more counter-attacking, compact, defensive style that is good. That is 100% good on the counter. And he even finished in European places in League One, I believe. At least one season he did. And then he started to unravel towards the end, as it so often does in modern managers. So I won't hold that against him, because very few managers last longer than 3 seasons nowadays. Sorry. So a lot of managers don't last longer than 3 seasons. So getting 2.5 seasons is commendable in the top 5 league in Europe. He also showed that he was willing to bring youth through youth. A number of teenagers were given their first team debuts and made first teamers under Patrick Vieira. So that's that's a feather in his cap, 100%. That he's shown that he's willing to play these young players, and Palace have got some young players in that team that will probably be aware of his history of bringing young players and will be excited for that. So let's go into the starting 11, what I think they should look like next season. So in goal we've got Gaeta. I think a really solid goalkeeper for this level. Better than when they had Wayne Hennessy in there before. They've also got Jack Butland as the second option and a solid keeper. Was in the Championship for too long, and that really has damaged his value. 100% has damaged his value, because he was in the Championship for far too long. And then at left back we'd have Tyrick Mitchell, a younger player from the Palace Academy, a really exciting attacking player that I think is good defensively. He's good defensively, but he can also improve. And I think Patrick Vieira has got the minerals to work with someone like Mitchell and improve him defensively and make him one of the better two-way fullbacks in the outside of the top 6. I think because he's got a really bright future, Mitchell. Centre-back partnership, the 2 new signings. Mark Guehi from Chelsea, who signed for, I believe, 18 million, who just came back from loan from Swansea. And Anderson, who has just come back from loan on Fulham, I believe. Yeah, he was on loan at Fulham, got relegated again. Not again, sorry, but got relegated. But was really one of Fulham's better defenders. So Guehi and Anderson are both very solid defenders. They're good on the ball, decent physically. Both of them have been playing in England, and some last season in the Premier League. Guehi from the Chelsea Academy and had a great season towards the end of the season at Swansea in the Championship as well. So both players have played in England and are used to the physicality, and there shouldn't be much of an adjustment needed in terms of playing style. Excuse me. But I expect them to develop that chemistry over this season. And then at right back, we've got the experienced Nathaniel Klein. Nathaniel Klein will be at right back. Got the experience, has had issues with injuries, but when everyone's fit, he should be the starting right back. And that's what I've gone off when everyone's fit in this team, as you'll see. So that'll be the back 5: Gaeta, Mitchell, Guehi, Anderson and Klein. A centre mid, double pivot of Milivojevic and Conor Gallagher. So Milivojevic is a player who is fairly well rounded, gets a lot of goals because he's the penalty taker, but he's fairly well rounded. He's definitely a position that I would 100% be looking to improve on. But Crystal Palace, they're in the middle of a rebuild, and they've already lost a lot of experienced players, so they're going to need to keep at least some of their experience. And Milivojevic, I've got no doubt, is a dressing room leader and is the captain. And next to Milivojevic, we've got Conor Gallagher, a player who I absolutely love. His coming out party was against Man City last season when he was at loan at West Brom. He's also on loan at Crystal Palace this season from Chelsea. Conor Gallagher, I think his ceiling is so high. He's unfortunate. He's one of those players who's unfortunately born in this generation where England is blessed with so many quality midfielders, but Gallagher is quality. I think he can play any of the three positions in the midfield. I think he can play deep. He can play as a centre mid. He could even play as an attacking mid, comfortably. He's got the legs for it. I believe Patrick Vieira should have a field day working with someone like Conor Gallagher because his attitude looks good. He looks physically able to keep up with the demanding standards of playing as a midfielder in the Premier League as well. I'm expecting another standout season for him, even more so than last season at West Brom. At left wing, we've got Wilfried Zaha, of course, the main man for Crystal Palace. He'll be 29 this season, I believe, so he's getting on a bit. There's no doubt about that. But he's not even 30 yet. He should, on paper, still have a lot more in the tank to give to Crystal Palace, and there's no doubt in my mind that he'll go down as a Palace legend. 100% he'll go down as a Palace legend. I think, it goes without saying, really. Zaha on the left. Now, at centre attacking midfielder, the number 10 spot, like I said before, I'm going off if everyone's fit. I'm going with Eberechi Eze. I believe his ceiling, he will go the whole way. He can go to the absolute top. I've got no doubt about it. I think he's got so much quality on the ball, and he's developed it off the ball as well. Under Roy Hodgson, we really saw his defensive game develop, and he started to press from the front even better, work back even better. We saw that goal against Sheffield, I believe, where he went the whole length of the pitch. His quality, close control, amazing. Leg, stamina, amazing. Creativity, brilliant. Got a decent eye for goal. I think that could definitely be improved on as well. I'm sure Patrick Vieira knows all these things, and he'll be looking to improve on that as well. It's such a shame that he's got such a bad injury, but when he comes back, I'm expecting to come back with a vengeance and be pushing to get into that England squad. He was in the provisional squad for the Euros, but that, I know for a player like Eze, that won't be good enough. He'll want to be getting into that squad and putting up that fight to get into the 11. And then on the right wing, I've got the new signing for 8 million or so, Mikel Elise, a player who, again, I'm super high on. Came from Reading, had double figures in assists last season, a real creative force, and can play down the middle where Eze is playing as well. Can play there. I think he's a player that tremendous skill, very fast. We've seen got an eye for goal, creativity. We saw that last season at Reading. It will be a big step up though. It will be a big step up. I'm expecting this season to be more of an adjustment. That being said, he's got Patrick Vieira as the manager, a Frenchman as well. They're both French, obviously. I expect the communication to be on point. I'm expecting a good rookie season for Elise, but he's younger. He's only 19, I believe, so he's a long-term project. So in a couple of years, he'll really be one of the standouts in that team, and really is good enough to probably play on the left as well. I imagine he could play anywhere in that attacking midfield three, left wing, attacking mid, and right wing. So maybe could be transitioned into a long-term replacement for Zaha, maybe. But it's just an option that Patrick Vieira will have this season. Mikel Elise is a quality player and is a really astute signing. And then up front we've got Jean-Philippe Mateta. So Crystal Palace haven't really got any standout strikers, in my opinion. Benteke, Ayew and Mateta, they're about the same level, if you're asking me. I think Mateta is solid. He's had a decent goal scoring record everywhere he's been. Not amazing though. He's never really stood out for me as a talisman, which is what teams in Crystal Palace's position really do need. They need someone that can get 15 plus goals in a season. Someone like, a Calvert-Lewin wouldn't be a realistic option because he'd cost so much, but a player like Calvert-Lewin, even an Ivan Toney, unfortunately Brentford got promoted, so that probably won't happen. But a player like that, Mateta should be a decent option up front. I think he should start, unless he proves, because Palace have Ayew and Benteke, who I don't particularly rate. Unless Mateta proves he's not up for it, he should be starting. It's only once I think Mateta proves that he's either not ready for this level or not good enough. And I think you can bring in someone like Ayew, even Benteke. I know towards the end of last season, Roy was playing them both together, Ayew and Benteke. Maybe Patrick will try and transition into that, maybe playing Eze and Gallagher as a double pivot and playing a 4-4-2 with Benteke and Ayew up front. Maybe that's an option. But yeah, I think comfortably for me, I would be starting Mateta ahead of him. But yeah, that's the starting 11 for me. I've got Gaeta in goal. Let's go for it again. Gaeta in goal. Mitchell, Guehi, Anderson, Klein. Back four. Milivojevic and Gallagher, midfield double pivot. Zaha, Eze, Elise as attacking midfield trio. And then Jean-Philippe Mateta up front. So I think Patrick Vieira will be playing a 4-2-3-1. I think he did that a bit at Nice also. Yeah, so this is what I think Palace would look like next season. Let me know if you agree or disagree. What positions you think I would change. If even if you don't think they'll be playing that position, that formation rather, maybe they'll play a three at the back. Maybe bring in Koyate, who has been playing centre back recently. Maybe swap him out for Milivojevic. Maybe play him as a defensive midfielder. Palace have got some options. They've got a solid team. I'm expecting them to stay up. If Vieira is half as good as a manager as he was a player, Palace should be alright this season. But great players don't always make great managers. You know, we've seen that often. They really don't. How many times have we seen that? Even just with the Invincibles team. Henry's been a poor manager. Ljungberg was a manager at Arsenal, didn't do particularly well. But Patrick Vieira's got about 5 years' experience, which is more than Henry and Ljungberg put together even. So it should be exciting season for Palace. Exciting season for Vieira also. Let me know where you think they'll finish in the league. Let me know if you think they'll play different players, change formations. Like this video if you want to see more content like this. Share it with your friends. And if you don't want to miss out on more videos like this or FM videos, make sure you subscribe and all that good stuff. It's been your boy Hybrid Hit Squad and I'm out. Peace.